This leads. 2 people have been arrested in connection with last weekend's shooting at the Merimi informal settlement in Soshanguve in Pretoria this weekend.
The police are running forensic ballistic tests to determine if the firearm found in his possession was used in the crime.
Meanwhile, Police Minister Mkhunu has sent his condolences to the families of the 6 community patrollers who were killed in the incident.
Mkhunu, who visited the area this morning, says the South African Police Service is currently questioning 2 other people in connection with that shooting.
At this particular stage, we are informed and confirmed that 1 person has been arrested just around here, like we suspected. We wouldn't have suspected that someone would have come from Mpumalanga or from Northwest for this. We knew and suspected that it would be somebody from around here for some reason. So that is one that we are conveying to you as families. That person, we know he is a Zimbabwean. And this is a fact that we're conveying to you so that you begin to close the chapter post-funeral and so on. And information helps as you go through this process so that you know that we have you know everything about what we have done and the results thereof. So that number one, one person has been arrested out of around 5 people that are alleged to have been involved in the murders, those gruesome murders.
SABC News reporter Lopang Alamu joins us now for more. Lopang, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. So, clarify this for us. 2 people, we understand, have been arrested. Police were saying that there are 2 people that are being questioned. Is this the same 2 people, or are there other additional 2 people that are being questioned? What are the numbers?
So that's not clear yet. When we arrived in Soshanguve in the morning, the numbers said that 2 people were being questioned and 1 suspect was in custody, so was arrested before they started questioning the other 2. Now, the Hawks say that they've arrested 2 people in connection with the brutal murders. So 1 in Extension 6, I think, and the other in Extension 20. So the police couldn't confirm that for us and said they'd stick to 1 for now, but we'll take the Hawks' word for it.
And when you look at this particular story, what could be the motive? What did you hear from the people when you were on the ground? Because there's a version that speaks about an extortion racket. There's a version that speaks about criminality. What did you hear?
It's generally just criminality. And I think because if you look at the events and how this entire thing played out, so these patrollers were gathering themselves for that morning's work, because if you remember, it's like 3-4 a.m. in the morning, and they saw a group of men. They approached them and said, "Hi guys, it's late, what are you guys doing here?" This is now the version of what the community is telling us, and that's when the fight ensued to say, okay, but who are you to question us? And that's when they were shot. They were then burned thereafter.
And when you speak to the community members, what are they telling you about these patrollers? Who were they, without even possibly knowing their names, but speak to us about the relationship they had with the community?
Oh, so these are people who are taking their time, their own resources, because remember, they're untrained, they're under-resourced or have no resources whatsoever. So these are people who are dealing with hardcore criminals who have guns, who've got all sorts of weapons, and they have what they can find at that time. They don't even have handcuffs. So it's very hard for them to try and keep the community safe, being so under-resourced, but they still did it. And I think the youngest is actually 19, was 19 rather, unfortunately. And the other one was 20, the one that was just, So we spoke to their families today, and I think it's really disheartening. And their future, and also how they speak of them, to say, man, these people were fighters, and they generally just said, okay, we're going to take our time and not engage in things that people our age do at this time, and we'll try and keep the community safe.
And how are their families?
Not okay at all. But I spoke to the family of Katleho Mutlotsi and Mpokoko, who said they're quite relieved that at least there's some movement where the investigation is concerned. When they were addressed by Minister Senzo Mkhunu to say, okay, they've arrested one person, so which gives them solace to say, okay, maybe more of them would be arrested, and they just want to know why they had to go that far, you know.
And surely when you are now speaking to the community members, they must be living in fear now, given what has happened. And especially when you think about that area, because that is an area where crime is actually quite rife. So if the community now has to deal with this, they certainly must be now probably just fearing for their lives as well.
Oh, definitely. And I think we also spoke to a former patroller who says it's so hard for him, even as someone who's got experience in self-defense and trying to keep the community safe, saying there's at 6 p.m. Latest or 7 p.m. latest, he needs to find himself inside the yard because things are that bad. Kids can't really go out to play without you being worried, and it's an informal settlement. We also did hear some community members saying it's not safe even for basic services like water because they're extorting them. There's another claim that they're extorting them for money to have basic services like having running water. But
so they pay for water.
That's what the residents
and
are saying.
electricity as well.
That's what the residents are saying.
Who are they
so
paying? Did they tell you?
No. And most of them, and I think even the patroller that we spoke to said we could use his voice but not show him. That's how terrified they are of the people who threaten them, of coming into contact with those who might harm them.
And do we know, if at all, these two people that have been arrested, when are they possibly going to appear in court?
Oh, that's been confirmed tomorrow. So this would be the Wednesday. It's going to be their first appearance. It's not going to be quite long, but we hope that we might be able to hear from them as to who they are, where they come from. Because we did hear the minister confirming that one of the men that was arrested is an illegal immigrant.
Lopang, we'll speak to you again tomorrow. Let's see what you're able to get together in court there. That's my colleague, SABC News reporter Lopang Alamu, speaking about the disturbing story that continues to unfold there at the Merimi informal settlement in Soshanguve.